What up, y'all? It's the Morning Hustle with L'Oreal and Kyle Santillian. And listen, man, we have some guests in the building today who unfortunately have gone through an incident that we've seen play out far too often on social media and just in the United States in general. We have Michael here. Good morning, brother. How are you?
Pretty good.
All right. We have your wife, Brittany, here. Good morning. How are you?
Good.
All right. And if you guys have not seen this video that's been circulating on Instagram and all the social media platforms, there was a woman who came to your porch questioning whether or not this house was yours and what are you doing here, right?
On your porch.
On your porch. On your porch. Now, I know things didn't start in that moment, but just to give you guys an understanding of what video we're referring to, but can you take us back and tell us where this whole incident began? What didn't we see before the video started?
Everything was pretty much in the video. It was just a regular day of work, me coming home from one of my real estate projects I was working on. Man, when I get to the front of my house, there's this lady in the driveway with two kids, and it's perfectly normal setting for me because kids come in and out the house all the time. We got, open door policy to the community because I got kids in my house. So I'm thinking she looking for the door. So, I asked her, did she need help or was she looking for someone? And she didn't answer.
Okay.
She then proceeds to walk up my sidewalk to the front porch. So I pull in the garage, and I'm just going to pull in the garage and walk in the house because I'm like, okay, she found the front door. But she then proceeds to walk to the front of the front porch and stop me while I'm pulling in the garage and ask me, did I live there? And I said, yes, I do. She said, I don't think you live here. So I said, well, what are you doing here if you don't think I live here? 'Cause at this point, I'm confused.
Right.
You know what I mean? And she says, well, I don't think you live here. And then, as you can see, she grabs her kids.
She grabbed one of them.
Right.
She left the other one. Oh, she might like one better. I don't know.
It's the video. It's real explicit in my eyes looking at the video, but it's another thing being the person that was actually there.
Right.
So
right.
she jumped off the porch, and once I start hearing her screaming at the top of her lungs for help, that immediately put me in fear.
Right.
Right.
Because I know what that can do.
Right. This feel like a setup now.
Yeah.
This feel like a setup.
And mind you, did she look familiar? Because this is your neighborhood. I would imagine you know your neighbors or the people that live around, or you see certain cars over and over. Did you recognize her at all? Did she live close?
I mean, I designed the house from scratch, built it from the ground up. I've never seen her walking down my street. People walk their dogs and stuff all the time. I've never seen her before.
That's crazy. So she runs off screaming, help, help, help. Right? All of this is caught on a Ring camera. This is how, for the people that have not seen the video.
I promise you, I know I'm not trying to make, but I wish you would have screamed help too, because the real victim is you.
You're the real victim.
Help to me.
Right. And the first thing I think about when her running off yelling help is that woman that did a similar thing in the park in New York. You remember that?
Yes. The bird watcher.
The bird watching lady. And to come to find out the man didn't do nothing to her either. So now you're in fear because you're feeling like this could be a setup in that way, right?
First thing I did was rush in the garage and go inside the house.
Smart.
To check on my wife.
Yeah.
She's in her office working. She didn't hear nothing.
No way.
She didn't hear the doorbell ring, nothing, because she's working. So at this point, I'm pacing back and forth. I'm paranoid. I said, babe, there's a lady outside just jumped off the porch and she screamed at the top of her lungs for help all the way down the street. I don't know if the police going to come here. I don't know if I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? So I'm just pacing. She's pacing. We're opening the door just so we don't know if we're gonna get bombarded or what.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
could have been a setup, anything.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts when he comes to you and tells you what just happened outside?
Well, I didn't hear anything. I'm working.
Right.
It's quiet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear the doorbell ring.
But at that point,
I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
Right.
yeah.
What are you talking about? Screaming for what? Like what? What is she screaming help for?
Right.
And then when he said a white woman, screaming. My heart dropped.
Right.
Y'all be scaring the hell out of
I'm
us,
telling
man.
you, white women are terrifying. Like they just are. It's like,
Right, man.
so how much time in between that and the man, the husband coming to the home with her, how long period of time in between was that?
It was about 15, 20 minutes. Yeah, I kept opening the door because I'm like, we didn't know if somebody's going to rush in. I'm like, the police is going to come. What's going to happen? What are you going to say? I don't even know what happened.
Yeah.
I just know she's screaming for help for what? And I know my husband didn't do anything.
Yeah. And you opened the door for the husband, right, Brittany?
Well, no, I opened the door as they were approaching. So I didn't open it for him.
Okay.
They were kind of all the way out on the sidewalk.
You was waiting for them at the door.
I was
Okay.
waiting for them at the door.
Yeah.
They was coming to
Someone
get the
was
stroller. They wasn't coming back to knock on the door and try to acknowledge us or nothing like that. If we wouldn't have came outside, I'm pretty sure they probably would have got the stroller.
Just got up out of
Yeah.
there.
Because the man didn't sound so, apologetic. He was like, come on, who cares? Get in the car.
Yeah.
And she did sound like, did you feel like she was trying to explain herself or?
No, I mean, another thing, too, is our 17-year-old was coming home from work at the same time.
Mm.
So I'm thinking, as a black mother, I have my black husband, my black son coming home. I'm breaking down.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I did see when the woman got to talking, she said, well, they said I was trying to set them up or set him up or whatever the case, when I actually thought he was a white man, which was scary to me because I'm like, well, if you thought he was black, then you would have set him up. Like, what do you think about her saying now she thought you were a white man?
I think when people bring that up, I think it's really just it's a racial slur and a joke. Is what I get out of it. And I think people should ask the question that if she truly thought it was a white man there, would she have reacted the same way?
Right.
So I think that's a question that needs to be asked. And then I'll let my wife speak on that. It really doesn't matter what she thought.
If we're riding in the car and the police come, you think they're gonna look at him as a white man?
Right.
No.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
Absolutely not.
No.
And
For
if
sure.
this situation was reversed and he was on her door, even with kids,
Yeah.
Yes. Problem.
Yeah.
asking if you live here, oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
And imagine, even her response saying, no, I don't think you do, after you said, this is my home. That goes to show you're there profiling as well still, because
Right.
you're
So it
saying,
doesn't matter, even if
yeah,
you did think
this
that.
is a white neighborhood. No way you live here.
Right. And
I've been in this city my whole entire life. I have numerous encounters with white people, police. I've never once received any type of thought, or people have never treated me as if I was a white person.
it would be nice sometimes, but no.
Like,
you never
It
got
would be
those
nice to have that
benefits.
privilege.
yeah,
Right,
like
right.
never. So it's just crazy.
Because I know you probably were dealing with a lot of emotions, like you already explained. I think one of my first thoughts would have been like, I'm gonna call the police first. You
True.
know what I mean? Did that run past your mind at all?
Well, in the moment, we didn't know what to do. I mean, our resort is, I've never, us as black men, we can't run to the police for help.
Right.
So that's not a thought that comes up in our head.
Only reason I said that though is because I would want it on record that and I feel you on that, but I would want it on record that no, you ain't calling the police on me. I'm calling the police on you. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I might be with Michael, because if you think about it, like we've seen now lately when people are calling the police for help and they end up the
And
one
then get in
shot.
trouble. Yeah, that's true.
So that's what we don't want. But
Well,
what?
that's where I came in.
Yeah, no, you go on.
I was going to say it took about an hour until we made the report, so we did do exactly just that. We're
Okay.
like, we need this on record.
Yeah.
yeah, just to
So we
have that
did a
record.
report, and that was scary within itself.
Yeah.
Well-
And you hit.
Yeah, I had to hide in my own house.
That is
Damn.
so crazy.
That's
I mean, because
insane.
you see it happen. It's all the time. So, for me, I'm already get stereotyped, black man, dreads, tattoos. To go out there and to try to explain myself about a situation that a woman called and made these these false acquisitions. It was it was terrifying for me. I'm not going to talk to the police.
Which at the end of the day leads into everything you just said, leads into why she probably didn't believe you in the first place. She's judging you by your looks. You can't live here. You can't afford to be in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? All of those kind of things that put you in a situation in the first place. Yeah.
Well, I think it makes sense for people like us to want to speak to you all, right? To speak to you too. What I don't understand is I saw, and I'm looking at the blogs, and she's actually doing interviews.
Right.
So how do y'all feel about the fact that, like, she started this whole thing, you know, and now she's going out? To me, I feel like she's kind of trying to get clout off of it. And did y'all think this was even going to get this big?
No, we didn't want this publicity.
Yeah.
This is not something we sought out. This is not something we want. I first emailed the video to HOA.
Wow.
Then, you know, we had the holidays and stuff coming up, and we had to, you know, kind of as a family get ourselves together and deal with all this pain and weight with what just happened.
Yeah.
After all that communication, I also made the report. I sent it to the, you know, police department, and then I posted it in my our community Facebook group, and that's when it came out, because they were very supportive and called her out.
Yeah.
And she initially went live that night. So that night it happened, she went live to her thousands and thousands of followers to share her perspective. And we didn't find that out until a neighbor reached out and said, "Hey, I'm so sorry, what happened?" And I'm like, well, do they know what happened?
Right.
They haven't shared anything.
Right.
Wow.
It turns out they screen recorded her live, and they knew the type of person that she was.
You were talking about the people that supported you in the Facebook group of your neighborhood. What are the demographics of your neighborhood, like percentage-wise? You know, 50, 40, 60, white, black. What is it?
Yeah, I say at least 95% of the neighborhood is white.
Oh, wow.
95 to 99.
95 to 99.
Okay.
Handful of us.
Yeah. So even those people that were supporting you, just to be clear, the people that were supporting you in the Facebook group and the other people in the neighborhood, they were your white neighbors as well that came to your support.
Yes.
And there was the white HOA that didn't respond. Just making sure.
Correct.
For sure.
Does Karen even live in the neighborhood?
Yes.
So she does. So people know her from the HOA and stuff. And did they have anything to say about her?
I haven't heard from HOA.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Do you pay your fees? Don't
That's
you?
crazy.
They ask for
Paid
that.
our fees.
But one thing you just said, which stands out, was that you said that people in the Facebook group knew what type of person that she was.
The person that reached out to me that said, "Hey, there's this, you know, I'm so sorry." She didn't ask to see what happened and ask me what happened. She just knew.
Yeah.
She put two and two together. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She said there's like a dozen or more families that have come together. We want to support you. And then even in the comments, I didn't know a lot of them. They're like, "Thank you so much for sharing. I am so sorry."
This
And
woman's a goon.
They
Yeah.
went to, you know, they went after her. And obviously, you know, her husband and others, they had some other things to say as well. But
And I just don't like it because she knows where you guys reside. He knows where you reside. It's not fair. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, for her to even go out there and try to put you guys on blast when you are the one disrupting the neighborhood.
Which is so crazy. The reversism of it all is insane.
She needs to be arrested. Like, you're running around accusing people of stuff, screaming and disrupting the neighborhood. That sounds like at least a fine.
Right. So we know at this point she's been out making her apology run on social media. She's claimed that she's tried to apologize to you guys, and I think she's claiming that you guys haven't accepted it or haven't responded. Where are you all with her attempts at an apology?
we don't have to accept it.
No, you do not. Thank you.
That's right. That's
I
right.
don't care if she got on her knees that night. And the crazy part is, we're empathetic people. I'm thinking the next day if she comes back here and, you know, says I messed up, this was, you know what, I went way out of line. I'm sorry. I want to learn. We all have implicit biases. Nothing, but you go live, and then there's weeks and weeks and weeks. And you don't come to us personally. Don't put flowers at the door. No, nothing.
But you go to Instagram.
But you're
Right.
Instagram.
Yeah.
That's not an apology.
For sure.
What the way y'all handled it, let me tell you something. Top tier. Class.
Yeah.
That's class right there. And you had me laughing. You was like, in his own home? Why would he have to tell you?
Right.
You know,
Right.
But like that, like, you know, sometimes we lose our temper when things like that happen, but y'all were able to just keep your calm, keep your cool.
Yes.
I commend y'all for that. You've you talked about your real estate, being a real estate developer. You built the house from the ground up. You're obviously making a difference in the community. Can we talk about that a little bit, if you don't mind?
Yeah. So, I have a passion for design and development within itself, and it's just something that I've been doing, and I'm starting to get good at it. I made some mistakes getting started out in the real estate, and now I'm in a position to where I can teach other people so that they don't make the same mistakes I made when I first got started into development. And, you know, moving out to this neighborhood, it was more so for the opportunities, the education systems, things of that nature. You know,
Safety.
Yeah, I mean, you know, safety played a role. It was, you know, but there's other factors that play a role that, you know, we don't get in our communities as minorities. So with that being said, I just start to see that I think it's, you know, God's calling for me, that instead of, you know, just building houses from the ground up, to maybe start investing in building communities that's for us and by us.
There you go. That's dope, for sure. Can I ask you, what, with all of this that has happened and all this attention that have come over this incident, how would you like this to play out? What is the perfect, you know, it's a tragic situation that happened. What is the best ending for it in your eyes?
I don't think there's an ending for it. I think that the story needs to be pushed to continue to save lives, to prevent situations like this from happening from the quote unquote Karens in the world. Maybe they will be more proactive when, you know, they see a black man that poses no threat. You know, they don't hold our color against us. And also, it needs to be a story, and something I plan on to continue is to inspire young men, older men, everybody that struggles with anger problems, thinking irrationally, and just, you know, emotional intelligence is the moral of the story here, is to teach people how to control your emotions. Because
had you not, you could have elevated the situation into something so much more worse.
It was simple. Even if I would have got 1% of aggressiveness, it could have escalated. You know, they could have said it literally just 1% of aggressiveness. So I had to keep my composure. I was battle tested. I've been working on myself for quite some time to be prepared for a deadly moment like this. And I truly am proud of myself. Because,
yes, sir.
I see that my work has paid off.
Yes, sir. And shout out to Ring Cam.
Thanks.
Shout out to the Ring Cam, because that, to me, I feel like we've been seeing that save a lot of people's situations, lives, because think about if that thing wasn't there. She could have easily been like, and then he came up towards me and the baby, and it would just be your word against hers. You didn't hear anything. That would have been awful. But thank God you guys had the security to be able to back you up as well.
Absolutely.
Oof,
well, yeah, we're glad it was caught on camera. We're glad you guys are here to tell your story. We're sad that you had to go through the situation, but maybe it will cause somebody else to think twice before they try to pull this type of a stunt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. All right, any last words? Like, how can people reach out to y'all if they want to tap in with you, hear more about your story, hear more about your development, and the positive things that you guys are doing in your communities?
They can reach out to me on social media, 3D Visions _. I got an email in the bio. They can DM me, message me. You know, that's the best way to reach out to me right now.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Appreciate y'all's story, man.
What does this woman do for a living? Did y'all find that out? Because sometimes we be losing jobs. We be making people lose their jobs, right?
They own several businesses.
Oh, do they? Oh, yeah, we need to boycott these businesses, y'all. Instagram, do your one, too.
Yeah, you about to lose your job.
You about to lose your job. Don't support them.